Alright. So you're gonna play some Genji Junkertown? So immediately what I'm thinking is Junkertown's kind of an awkward map for Genji because there's not really much high ground to take to start out. And oftentimes there's cheese strats with Bastion and Orisa. So in order to be effective, you're gonna have to maneuver around the barriers and try to flank. So what I'm hoping you're gonna do here, and what I know you're gonna do here, is you're gonna flank around to the right side. Usually there's gonna be a Widow there. You could 1v1 that. Or, a different type of hit scan. That was just a bad peek. I mean, and a dash. There you go. Now, yeah, I mean, throwing shurikens at that shield is basically pointless. You did, what, 100 damage? It's not really worth anything. Alright. Here's kind of where your first mistake starts. So, they're all pushing forward. This Ana's alone, but there's a shield right there. So, there's not much of a chance you're going to kill her. So, what the best thing to do is, see how they're all lined up right here? Triple shurikens, right click, dash to the high ground right up here, and get out. And then you could turn and deflect. It would give you like 10-15% ult charge, and it would just get you back to a safe position where you could sort of reset and flank again. Instead, you take this 1v1. If this Ana was better, you'd be dead right here. Okay? And then instead of walking at her, okay, at this point, she's half health. The entire enemy team's ignoring you for some reason. Just, what you should do is you should throw shurikens, look at the ground near her feet, and commit to finishing off this kill, and then dash out like I said you should have originally. Because of how they responded to you, you're kind of given free range here. Instead, you dash all the way through her. Now, you can't actually follow up and hit her. Had you dashed right behind her, it would have been a much easier kill to confirm. You get lucky, your Ana throws a nade, it kills her. So this isn't a complete feed. Now you have a dash to get out. But you dash to the mini. Why? No one was even looking at you. You could have walked to the mini if you wanted, but now you just wasted your 8-second cooldown. So now you're going to throw shurikens, that makes the Moira notice you. And you're... Yep. A better Moira would have just meleeed you there, but whatever. You actively sabotaged your own positioning by attracting attention. You had zero reason to throw those shurikens, but you did. Anyway, so you're just jumping around, throwing left clicks. Doesn't really matter if those hit or not. Get better at it, you get better. If you don't, you don't. You should be right-clicking that. Okay, didn't see the trap. You saw the hog, though. You saw the hog there. And you continued to throw triple shurikens at the ulting Moira, who you had zero chance of ever killing. Why? What you should have done, look at the hog. You're stuck in a trap. Okay, whatever happens. Can't do anything about it. Just look at the hog, wait for him to hook, and press E. You get lucky, they don't kill you again. But you're still basically wasting time throwing. Okay? Okay. That dash right there, extremely bad. You could have just climbed up high ground and walked at them. Because now you've committed to 1v1ing both supports. Look at where your team is. They can't help you. They will be able to help you in about 5 seconds. By that point, you're either dead or you've killed both of them. You should have gotten closer, poked more, and maybe committed, but only... You don't want to dash at an enemy unless you're determined to take the 1v1, or you know that the dash itself can finish them. So it would have been a lot better to close the distance, focus the Ana first, rather than the Moira, who's going to be self-healing as you try to kill her, and you just get naded and die. Had you done what I did, you would have seen the Junkrat coming in and lived. Luckily, your Bastion took a flank, he's gonna kill them. You know. So your real throw is you're just using dashes horribly. If your dash isn't taking you to a safe position, you're basically committing to killing 4 people. Or at least 1, to get out. Just left click poke. Go on that Zen. Go on that Zen. Oh, there you go. Your team did it for you. You should have known just that Oof. You should have known that their respawns were going to be a bit later, and that you got the Zen to half HP. That is the type of kill that you can take. Realize that he was isolated just due to spawns, and the fact that Junkrat's up top, both supports are there, both tanks died late. You can go kill that Zen right there. Not doing so is a lack of awareness. You're playing weird, because you're taking fights you shouldn't, and then you're not taking fights you should. I mean, yeah, you go in, you get hooked, you die. Just a mistake, you know. Your Bastion's carrying you right now. Currently, your contribution to this game has been 0. I mean, maybe you killed Diana, but you could have done that better. I'll give you a +1 for Diana, actually. It was bad, but it wasn't... It worked out. Okay. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with just left-click spamming, trying to build ult. Right here, you see both supports there. You're alone behind the whole enemy team. You should either... Sorry, let me go back. You see that they're there. You should either back up, take high ground, and throw it from there, where it's much easier to retreat, and try to stop them from taking it. Or you could be helping your front line with deflect, but that's not the best thing to do usually. You're lucky you don't get slept. So look, you know the entire enemy team's there, but why are you moving forward? The only reason that you should be moving forward towards them is if you're going to commit to them. But the entire enemy team's there, your team's not. So by jumping forward at them and out of cover, you've just put yourself in a bad position. Yeah, had you stayed by the Mega, you'd be fine. Now you're going to dash up, and you're going to get out. That's a good escape. But you had no reason to use your dash. You could have just walked. You could have climbed. You could have just come out the window up top there. Alright, you helped finish off the Junkrat. Again, it was just your Bastion mostly, but whatever. So you go up here, you're finally contesting high ground. Why did you dash up to the high ground, though? Had you... Okay, here's a tip for your blade. If you dash through someone before you blade, then you can dash slash to kill them. Instead, you dash straight up to the high ground. But you weren't even... Did you even hit the Hanzo? No, you didn't even have an angle on him. You could have climbed up there. You could have taken a flank. You could have done so many things to get a better dash onto him. Like, wall climb to the right of this platform and then dash down on him. Anyway, trying to kill him. You didn't have your dash, so you're kind of lucky that your McCree hit him. Alright, you hit Diana twice, and you dash for no fucking reason. What was that dash gonna do? There wasn't anyone there. Did you just guess? And you died for it. Okay. Seriously. Look, go back. Go back, go back. Okay. You pull out the blade. You miss, but it's okay. McCree got you. You get the blade on him. This is a pointless blade, by the way. Like, this fight is not won or lost by your blade. The best thing you get out of this is this Ana solo kill. This Ana might have lived had you not pulled out blade. The other two, though, they were done. Like, the Hanzo already died. So you slash her twice, and you immediately dash, but there's nothing there. You can see there's nothing there, right? Look. Yeah, you're looking dead ahead. There's nothing. What? You killed both supports in the Hanzo. And you had, like, one slash left. There was no squishies left, even. There's a Brig. I mean, unless that Brig just swapped. Alright. So that was a throw blade, but I don't know. You're just not setting yourself up well enough. If you're not getting the nano, then you need to do some damage first. Okay? You're just gonna walk through the entire enemy team. Probably should have let your own team push up a little bit first. Now go take high ground. That's a good kill. No, that's not. So had I been you, I would have just gone up the steps. There's no reason really not to, and you shouldn't get a kill here. You do, but it's just kind of dumb spam. Had you taken the high ground, though, you'd be in a much better position to spam down. And you actually have a retreat option. Here you go in on the Sanzo. But you dash at him, that full commits you to the fight, it makes his shots a lot easier to hit, And you didn't even have a substantial amount of damage done to him first. Did you hit the triple shurikens on him? I want to see. No. Okay. Dash, triple shuriken, melee. That's a basic animation cancel. Had you gotten lucky and hit the headshot on it, you might have killed him there instead of just feeding. It was still a bad dash, though, because you're fully committing yourself to a 1v1 that you just really aren't in an advantageous position with. He was already shooting you. If you get hit once before you're actually on someone as Genji, you're dead. You don't have an escape unless you kill them. And you're really... You might as well not even have a shift for the amount of use you've gotten out of it. Like, I don't know. Alright. That's good. The best thing you could have done there is focus that, because that's a free team fight win if that's not dead. Meme aim, but whatever. Right click. Okay? Note you went in without your dash. You're playing like Mick Genji here and just trying to use your primary fire to kill her. Your main damage is abilities, dude. Well, not main, but a lot of Genji's threat comes from the dash damage. Left clicks. Nothing wrong with using the barrier. Okay, good escape. You've already lost this. You've got blades, stop peeking. I would try and go around right side here, unless the Ana's gonna nano me. And even then, probably would still want to go around right side and dash from there. Just so that you're not directly eating a bunch of spam. I'll talk about that after this round's over. But you're playing your role sort of badly for how you'd need to be functioning in this team comp. Alright, you dash into the air. You don't get a nano. You do get a nano, but it was late, so this is useless. And you feed. You got out trans. If you knew that the Ana was gonna nano you, and it was just late, then dashing there was a throw, because you took away your own potential to one-shot people. So, how are you gonna kill them? You can't one-shot. I mean, there's not much you could do. Hope for a good anti. Alright. Kill her. Yeah. You're lucky there. Generally going on an Orisa like that's a throw. I was kind of rooting for you, but they had spawns. Okay, right-click him. That was meme. But you just gotta get better at that. There's nothing to complain about. Okay. That was a really, really bad dash combo. Like, if you're not gonna kill them, and you're gonna put yourself away from them, then why do it? You're constantly over-dashing. You aren't playing Tracer. Dash on to Zen was good distance. Alright. You should just be able to win this. Please. Please. Good deflect. Okay. I think you might have just lost due to respawns anyway, but that was not a great blade. Let's watch that back a bit slower, because there was a lot there was a lot of fighting. Okay. This Hanzo kill. That was bad. You would have been much better served just throwing another triple shuriken, because the only way you're gonna kill him from that amount of health with what you tried to do, and is this... Right. Only way you're gonna kill this Hanzo from the amount of health he had. Wait, look at him. Either all your shurikens of the 3 hit at that range, which is unlikely. You do a double shuriken hit melee dash, which could have worked, or you just throw 2 rounds of shurikens for enough damage where the dash would confirm the kill. Considering the Briggs coming back, I'd probably go with the second option. But what happens here? Yeah. One of your shurikens missed, the dash doesn't do enough damage, and the melee wouldn't have killed either. The best thing to do there, throw 2 rounds of shurikens instead of just 1 and dashing. And yeah, because you did it that way, he ended up having time to get healed because the Brig came back, like I said. You need to finish your kills. It's partly a mechanical thing, but partly, whenever you dash, you're just fucking yourself over. Like, you don't have the ability to kill someone from 10 meters away as Genji. You just don't. It's dumb luck at that point. Okay. Your Bastion almost carries this, but I feel like he just gets murdered by a dragon. And both supports and break go on him. Okay. Work a little on your aim, but that's not been your main problem here. Your main problem is the amount of time you're wasting. That blade, you overdashed again, and you didn't turn quick enough. You should have known she was going to keep running. You should have instantly snapped to her and started moving towards her. What I like to do, dash directly behind them, 180, double jump and look down, and hit them while jumping over their head. It's very disorienting, and it's a much better way of confirming your blade slashes than just, I don't know, slowly walking at them. Because if you're too close, it can be hard to aim, and if you're too far, you just won't hit. So double jumping is a good way to get the right distance. Alright. Another wasted dash. Like, you're seriously wasting 90% of those at this point. Okay. Okay. You're not really doing anything wrong here, because if you try to dive them, you're just going to die to break. Alright. Wait, what happened to your dash? Didn't you kill someone? Yeah, okay, you kill Zen, you get the dash back. You instantly dash on him. Why? You're literally melee range, look. You are melee range of him. And you triple shuriken dash when he's full health. You could have just thrown two. You're disorienting yourself. You're not good enough at Genji to be dashing on cooldown and hit crazy flick shots. You're not confirming kills with it. My rule for you to get better, honestly, you're only allowed to dash if you are 100% going to kill someone. Like, otherwise I feel like you'd be better served just finding ways to walk at them. Your dashes are actively making you a worse player at the moment. Okay. Again, there's really nothing you can do here. They're just tanks, whittle them down. Maybe try to... Why? You got value out of the blade, but I hope you realize that dash was another fucking throw. Alright. A bit of a C9, nothing you can really do. There were too many tanks on point for Genji to do anything about. Even if you killed all the squishies with that blade, I don't feel like you would have been able to do anything. Alright. Fast forward a bit, because you're still going to stay on Genji. Oh. I'm going to take this... I'm going to take this time while you walk there to explain your role in this team comp. So, you're running an Orisa, right? You're running, I think it was Orisa Zarya, or maybe you just don't have an off-tank. Yeah, you don't have an off-tank. Triple DPS, that's fine. It's Diamond, who cares? So, if you look at the rest of the picks, though, none of them can really do anything except pressure straight forward. Soldier could, but he's not going to. He's just going to shoot like a bot. So because no one's actually going to be pressuring off angles, that means that their entire team can focus fully on just shooting forward. That means that there's almost zero disruption in any of the enemy's plans. The healers will always be able to heal the right targets, the DPS are always going to be shooting relatively the same thing, and anyone that actually peeks out is going to take a shit ton of damage. That means that it's very easy for their team comp to be cohesive and function. What you should have done is you should have been playing Genji a lot more like kind of the way you play Winston, where you flank and you just distract and you take away resources. It's called playing a disruptor style of DPS, and basically you spam left clicks, and if you hit any, you go in to confirm the kill. It's a very strong way of playing to keep your entire team from just being in one spot, because that's the easiest way for lower ranks to focus on one thing. You'll find that your team does a lot more and you're more likely to win fights the more you distract the enemy. So, whenever you're retreating back to your team, take it as a personal mission to go back into a spot where you can harass them. So a strong place to play around in point 2 of this map, for example, would be the Mega Room. If you stayed upstairs in there and just spammed supports and really like threatened to go in, they would have had to dedicate resources to healing each other, and if they didn't, you could have killed them. And that would have been a way to really open it up a lot easier, and I wouldn't just say, okay, you're doing nothing. I'd say, okay, you're distracting supports. A lot of DPS pressure isn't getting a kill, it's making sure that the enemy has another thing to worry about. And if they fuck up, then you take the kill. Anyway, so the way to play this here is you should be on the house to the right. Because from there you could spam them as they walk through, and it's very hard for them to actually chase you down. But I feel like you're just going to sit behind the shield. Right side, play around with the wall you can climb over. Yep. I haven't seen beyond, like, the first round, so that was just a lucky guess. Alright, if you were where I said, you could be on the Ashe right now, and if you wanted to, you could dash back behind the shield to escape. Alright, left click spamming. Take. Good dash. If you see an opportunity for a kill, always take it. But, what the fuck? So you get the Ashe kill. Perfect. You also hit the Zen, though. Zen is half behind you right now. But you just lack the DPS awareness, and you go on Ana. You're so focused on being fast. I can see it. But Genji isn't about speed. It's about precision. Like, you don't have to be a fucking Necros wannabe all the time. And now you notice Zen's half, but you wasted your dash. So you deflect, you throw some left clicks, and you're stuck here for 4 seconds. Just... And you dash out! No! All you had to do is walk backwards and go around, out the back, take high ground. You could double jump over to there. You don't have to dash out. You're at 150 health. You aren't at threat of dying. Had you just looked behind you and walked backwards. You're not a tracer. It's 8 seconds. 8 seconds now. You are worthless for 8 seconds. That's what you just did to yourself, and you took an extra 80 damage that you didn't have to take. Alright. Nothing wrong with this. I mean, you're not going to really... The only way you're going to hit the Ashe is with some dumb luck, so it's fine. Just damage Winston, build Blade. Right here, why are you going out into the middle of the open? Play around the left. Like, you've got a staircase there and everything, and now you're going to have 5 people chase you. The good news is, you distracted the Nano Monkey, and he fucked his jump. The bad news is, once again, you only were saved by them being bad, and you're still going to die anyway. Like, you had 0 way of getting out. And you're going to say the mistake here is, oh, I should have killed the Zen, or the Ana. Yeah, you're going to say your mistake is you should have killed the Zen or Ana. True, but you were too slow on decision making. You should have killed the Zen, and you would have had a reset. But it was still... Your real mistake started here, okay? When you jumped out into the middle there. You should have been dashing from the high ground position onto the Zen. Also, had the Ana hit her shot, he would have been full anyway. But, yeah. Okay, now go around to the right. If you jump up to the right and take the high ground, Winston can't really jump on you. And you might be able to escape. Instead, you go out into the open field against a sniper. 2 snipers. But you got Blade. You're putting yourself into positions where your dash is worthless. And you're making... And when you do use your dash is worthless. Like, see how you just used it from spawn? That's probably the best use you've gotten out of it. Okay. Do you have an... I just hit tab, like I have the ability to do that. Lead your targets, by the way. You're... Oh, sorry. You're really struggling at actually properly leading a lot of your shots, and that's the main reason they're missing. I get you're used to, like, faster projectiles, but with Genji, you really need to put the... They're slow. So you've got to lead your targets better. Why'd you die there? What'd you do? Sorry. Alright. So here, you see the Hanzo and the Ashe. You threw those shurikens too low, fine. And you just get shot. I mean, but I think the soldier's gonna kill them both. It's actually really unlucky. The Ashe coach gun deflected the Hanzo back. I mean, I would have taken the 2v1. You just needed to be better mechanically there. Nothing to say on that. Good job not wasting your blade there, trying to 1v6. Take the high ground, and go peek out that window to the side, and just threaten them. If you were... Okay. You could... If you took the position I said, you could kill the Ashe. If you're not in dash range as Genji, then you're basically just... You've got 0 kill power. You need to be within dash range to have kill presence on this character. And your dash should also be long enough... Oh my god. Your dash should be far enough of a range. You should have just taken them out of Mega. Your dash should be... You should also be far enough away, though, that if the dive tanks jump on you, you can dash out. That's the sort of perfect middle ground there. With that Ashe, you should have just been able to double jump over and deflect to get close, and then killed her. You should not have waited for her to try to initiate with dash. Dash is not an initiation tool. It's a finishing tool. Your own mobility should be an initiation. The best use of dash a lot of the time, flank behind them, and use it to build ult charge and dash out to safety. Okay, you're gonna blade. Okay. You bladed. You just got a bit disoriented by the dragon visual clutter. I don't know.
Heroes never die.
Bad awareness to an... You don't have an Ana. If you don't have an Ana, dashing into the air is a throw. Isolate a target, dash through them, pull out blade, dash slash. It'll one-shot them. It's a very consistent way to kill them. You might get killed doing it, but, I mean, if they hit the shots, they hit the shots. That's like, there's nothing to say about it. It's not your fault if you just get headshot. Usually. Alright. You got out there, but I don't think... She just used her bash, right? They've got no real way to stop you. You could just wall climb up instead of wasting a dash. You could just wall climb up to where the Ashe is. Oh, that Ashe, by the way, is playing completely spread. And you really aren't contesting her. Like, if you poke down those DPS up there, their healers aren't with them. Take the high ground. Okay, good job. No, go on a flank. Go through the back window. You wasted another dash because of that. You're getting hard carried because you've got 0 presence. It's like as if you played Winston and then played passive. That's what your Genji looks like to me. Alright, good kill on that. That one's acceptable because, like, I mean, they were spread. It was just an isolated 1v1. Nothing could really help them. And it was towards your own team. That's a good dash. And it's probably the only one that I'm going to give you any props for. That's a good dash, even though she had a good amount of health. You die to the Winston. Right, okay. Your team should win that fight, though. Oh, and you get res. Nice. Thank you, Mercy. Fucking port. Port? You are playing this like you're a Hanzo or McCree, when really you should be more behind them. Abuse the fact you have a wall climb. It's like the better mobility option of Genji. Instead, you're focusing a break, and got kind of lucky that it worked. Alright, another wasted dash. Please just get close to her and start right-clicking. Okay, you killed the Hanzo. Good awareness. No! There was a Bob. Okay. Do I want to break down that team fight and show you how little you're contributing? Great. Okay, right here. You can just wait up there, you can go around, you can just do something to pressure. Diana's right there. Walk forward and right-click her on the head. You left-click for reasons. Okay. If you right-clicked her, you could have possibly done another right-click and dashed out, but there was a break there, so it was probably best to just get away. No real reason to drop at that point, but... I mean, wait, you should have known there was a break there. Maybe you just didn't notice the circle. That's fine. There's a lot of visual clutter in this game. You dropped directly into a break, though. That could have been a throw. Using left click there, mistake. The Brig doesn't even notice you. Like, I guess she thinks you're an ally, Genji. I don't know. Right. So now you've put yourself in a position where you're just left click spamming, even though it's the middle of a team fight. You get a kill on the Brig, that gives you a dash again. That's huge. You need to get away from the main group of your team because you're not being very effective here, and there's a huge target to focus, and you dashed again for no reason. Drop and right click that diva. Okay, you need to just get close. Your kill power is when you're close. If you drop and start right clicking that diva, look at where her entire team's facing. Away from you. They will not notice you killing it. And if you right click, you'll hit her a lot more than just trying to throw left clicks. Okay. You see the Hanzo though. You see that he's there, but eh. You get kind of lucky that he's low enough for the dash to kill. But at this point your entire team's lost because you just took so long to actually kill anything. Their Ana was uncontested there. Had you flanked initially and pressured the Ana, even if you were the worst Genji in the world, given 10 attempts to hit like 5 shurikens, you could have at least made sure she didn't nade your team. Because really, when you got hit by the anti-nade, that was kind of like, okay, now she's used her core ability purely to support her team. That's where all their resources is. That's where all of their resources are. They're going to just now win that fight because you've got zero pressure on the healer. You don't have to commit to a fight to be a distraction. You need to threaten and make them uncomfortable. Okay, way to contest high ground. Probably shouldn't muck that into a Winston, but you need to build ult charge at this point, so maybe you shouldn't. At this point, I'd think, okay, I want to have another ult within the next 40 seconds, and I'd just start right-clicking. Right-click the tanks, right-click the bubbles, just right-click, do DPS. Go flank and take dashes through the entire enemy team. Get your ultimate up, because it could win you this game. Okay, right-click that. He's huge. At about, if you want to get general fast rule, at about 6 meters, 5 meters, you probably want to left-click against any small target, but continue to right-click against big targets. As long as, like, 2 shurikens consistently hit, it's decent DPS. Okay, your role is to contest and threaten this high ground, and make sure that they're diving you and not your team. If they dive you, you dash out. If they dive your team, you harass healers. Oh, that's just a good sleep. Now, you did fall off the high ground. That's your mistake, but that sleep was actually... Why the fuck did they sleep? Okay, that sleep was complete dumb luck. Unlucky. I don't even know. At this point, your team's just completely carried you. Okay, please don't get killed by that. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. Your team's saving your life. Okay. You build another blade. It took you about 1 minute and 45 seconds. That's too slow in my opinion, but it still worked. You get out the beat, you still get 2 kills. Awesome value. That's huge. If you get a support ult and 2 kills, that's literally like, you can't ask for more from a blade. Unless it's Nano Blade, in which case you can, but, you know. So, that was a good blade. I mean, you got the kills you needed with it. It worked. Sloppy execution. You're focusing too much on being fast and not enough on actually hitting the right people. But in that case, speed was important because you wanted to beat out the beat. But once the beat came out, you really should have just slowed down. There's no reason to spaz out. Okay. Good kill on that. If your entire team is where you're going to dash, typically it's a safe dash. You almost C9'd, but you didn't. Okay. Just burn out the last few people. Oh, you have a rally on payload. You win. Your team hard carried you. And it's not because you're bad mechanically. I mean, obviously needs improvement. If someone's jumping like that Tracer, wait for them to jump and then throw the shurikens. Don't just keep throwing in time with your jump. But it's not that your mechanics are bad. It's that the positions you're putting yourself in are bad. And it's that every single time you use a dash, it's almost always just a waste of a dash. You're dashing... Okay, cancel that. You're not dashing to build ult charge. You're dashing to just pointlessly get out, pointlessly misposition, pointlessly reposition. Pointless. Your dash is your main threat, it's your main damage, it's what makes Genji a better 1v1 duelist than just, say, fucking Zen. If you're not using your dash for damage, if you're not committing to finish off low health targets, which, right there, that would have been a good dash, but you're thinking too slow. You should have thought, okay, that Zen's like dead. I'm gonna dash, I'm gonna triple shuriken, dash, melee, and he will die. And now you're here, and you've got no dash. The amount of times you die are almost directly related to how badly you're using your dashes. Because they're not really killing you so much as you're feeding into them constantly. What's another good example? I mean, I could basically go to any point in this video. Okay, your dash is up. I think you just give them... Okay. Right, your dash is up. Let's see what you do with it. Okay. Like, let's just see. How do you use this dash? This is about how I'm going to end the video. You... don't. Okay. Oh, yeah, no. You dash into the air for the nano. Not bad because it resets your dash to do that, but is bad because you weren't getting any support on that. That was a solo blade, so you need to dash through someone so you could frag out easier. Okay. Alright, here's one. So here, you dash to safety, but you could have just dashed through the Ana. Like, if you wanted to do that, you could have just dashed through the Ana. But you use your dashes when you're scared. That's wrong. Use your dashes strategically for a purpose. Not just, oh, I'm gonna dash because I have a dash, and dash is cool, dash do damage. Okay. If you work on your dash use, and you work on getting close to people, starting your 1v1s with right clicks, and finishing it with a dash to safety, that will reset your dash to give you another one, your Genji will instantly shoot up like fucking 300 SR. And that's the tip I'm gonna give there. Otherwise, just watch the rest of the video.